Hi everyone, this is Dawn Ochs and it is July 23rd and we're talking about KW Smart Plans in Command today. So I'm going to get right to it. We're going to share our screen so that we don't delay any further. And if anybody else jumps in, that's cool. So at this moment, a couple of you are muted by choice and that's great. If I'll leave it that way. If you choose to talk, just unmute yourself and ask questions as we go. So we'll be here till about couple minutes before 2 o'clock. So out of Smart Plans, let me start my slideshow and make sure that you're seeing the beginning. Can you see my slideshow?
I can see it.
Do you see the publisher version or the actual slideshow?
The actual slideshow.
Okay, great. Because then I can use my pointer if I need to. So for anyone who's on the call and doesn't know me, I've been an agent since 2002 and I'm with KW since 2004. And I'm currently the tech driver for Del de Moros Market Center. So I meet with the regional tech drivers once a week for both PA region and the New York Tri-State region. And I do other things like productivity coach, and I'm a certified market center trainer, which kind of brings together all the things that I love to do, and Zoom has allowed me to reach out to you guys. So here we go. Let's go into Smart Plans. So what are they? Smart Plans are the technology equivalent to the MREA lead generation model. So if you may have seen this before with, I'm actually in the office today, and they're a little louder than they usually are in the training room. So the Smart Plans are a derivative of the MREA lead generation model, which really talks about the Allied Resources group and the MET group. And this is where the 8x8, 33 touch, and the 12 directive come from. So really it's 8x8 is 8 touches in 8 weeks. That was the original model. 33 touches a year to your sphere of influence and any of your METs. And then 12 direct is really a once a month kind of newsletter type touch. So that's where all of our Smart Plans have derived from. And we've taken the MREA model and the tech coordinators, or the team down in Austin, Texas, they have created the technology version of the lead generation model. So now we do it in a systematic way, and it's systematized for you right from command. So let's get started. So in order to get your system updated, a couple things you should check in your settings would be managing your, let me just get the little pointer here, and your email configuration. So make sure that you go to settings and check the command email. They've had a recent update, so if you haven't been in there in a few weeks, you may see that command email is available and you can manage that. Once you do that, check the sender name and the reply to email. That should be the one that you actually look at daily. And then make sure that you manage the subscription here. You have up to 5,000 emails per month for your account. So that's what we are allowed to send out from command email. The other thing is set up your Twilio account. So Twilio is the way that we can send automatic messages right from the Smart Plans. And you do that by going to your settings on command and then check to connect your Twilio account. Once you're in there, you can actually use the provided phone number that they give you, or you can choose a local phone number. I think they only charge you $1 per year or $1 per month. I don't remember, and I didn't find out right before the call. Messages are saved in the contact record. So people are like, oh, how do I message back? Well, the contact record in your command system will save those messages and you can message back and forth there. All right. So once you have that done, you want to go to the Smart Plans applet, and that is right here. It kind of looks like a little checklist. And when you first go to the Smart Plans applet, you'll see the My Smart Plans, and these are the ones that you've actually added to your smart plans from the library. And what you first would want to do is go to the library. See the two things. This is the templates that KW has set up. And then once you add them, they end up in your smart plans library so that you can have your own personal ones. All right. So this is the screenshot of your My Smart Plans. Once you add them to your own, then you'll see you can customize the name. And then if you wanted to create a new one, you can create your own custom smart plan by clicking the create button. So you have a couple of options there. All right, so choose the smart plans from the library. The library has several and they're adding to it. I just saw on an update yesterday, they are updating even more smart plans to include the smart plans that other agents are using at a high level. They can choose to share them with everyone in KW. So you'll see that coming up in the next quarter. So right now there's several of them that you can choose from Promote My App, the biweekly neighborhood nurture, the 8x8, the quarterly call plan, the midterm, long-term, birthday, open house. There's a couple more. They didn't fit on the screenshot. Clearly, Promote My App is about promoting your mobile app. The other ones that I wanted to mention here is the biweekly neighborhood nurture. This one only works if you actually have a neighborhood set up in your customer's database, in the database in each contact record. So anyone on that smart plan would have to have a neighborhood created for them, and that's really very simple to do. If there's questions on it later and we have time, I can address that. The 8x8 contact engagement. So this is intended so that you contact them 8 times in 8 weeks, and it just keeps repeating. Okay. And then the quarterly call plan basically is just make a call every quarter. So you'll see in each one of these, it tells you how many steps there are. The duration is like 50 days, and then how many touches. Down here, it says where it's coming from. Right now, they're all free, so you don't have to worry about that. You can add the smart plan to your library, or you could view the steps to each of the smart plans. So let me just show you that. If you're looking at the steps in each of the smart plans, you can just click on that view, and then you can look and see what is included in the plan. This one says it sends an email, then there's a delay, and then it sends a message, and then there's a delay of 3 days, and it sends another message. Along with the messages, I'll show you in a little while, but when it has an automated message, there's actually a message every time that it goes around it rotates again, there's a new message, a different message that goes out. And if you're doing this with Twilio, it will automatically send out. If you're doing it manually, it'll alert you to send out that message, and you can manually send it out in your own phone. All right, so the biweekly neighborhood nurture, you can see that this has a couple of steps, and it sends an email, waits 14 days, and then it repeats and sends another email. So that's the way that you can look at the steps. And then once you review the steps, then you just click Add Smart Plan. All right, once you add the smart plan, it'll show up in your dashboard under My Smart Plans, and you'll see whichever one you wanted to check. It'll tell you how many customers are in there, when you started it, how many days it has in the system, and then the number of touches, I believe. Okay, and I see some more people popped on the call. That's good. The other things that are on here is you can add contacts right here, edit the smart plan, or you can use the 3 dots to delete or change. All right, when you look at each smart plan, this is how you can add your contacts. You can add one contact at a time by searching for their name, or you can use the tags. And on the right-hand side, you see I used a tag, and the tag that I put in here was add campaigns. So anybody that I have added in the bulk tag of add campaigns, then I just click that one and everyone comes up. So you'll see here there's 4 people plus 16, so there's 20 people that are in that ad campaign group, and I just clicked them all. Right here, you'll notice though that this person has 3 neighborhoods set up and this person has 0. So if I added them to the neighborhood campaigns, they wouldn't receive an email. Okay? Let me just, oops. I think I'm hearing some background noise, just not sure where it's coming from. Thanks. Okay, so let's go to the next screen. Review, customize, and save. So once you review your smart plan, you'll be able to look at all the steps that are involved. You can customize any one of them, and you can customize them either in the type of function that goes out, or you can change the text. In the bottom left-hand corner here, you can see that there's a text message, or the body of the text message that goes out, and it says, hey, this is Dawn. It'll say agent first name, agent last name, which is Dawn Ochs with Keller Williams. Did you see that a neighbor has listed your home? Download my app, and then it has the app link. The way that it knows how to pull all this information is by using the function keys. The function keys are on the right-hand side here, and there are a list of items that you can choose from. So between first name, last name, anything that you like, and you can edit this as you go. It gives you up to 480 characters on a text message. And then once you customize any part of the smart plan, you always need to save it by checking the check box, okay, the little check box. All right, so that's how you customize the current plans, but you can actually add your own smart plan. So if you wanted to create your own smart plan, there's many, many ideas why you might want to create your own smart plan. Some people like to create them for reminders for tasks, like so, just like a task list or something that for their listing agreement, for their listings or for their sales. Maybe they want to create smart plans for individual neighborhoods, or even for calendar organization. Sometimes people that are, you know, they like to build into their calendar lead generation in a big, big calendar item. And then what do they do during that time? So they might want to build in like just tasks and things like that for their calendar. All right, and then if there's other systematic lead generation ideas that you could have. The amount is endless. It's all up to you. All right, so what you do is you just click on the Create Smart Plan button, which I showed you earlier, and then you can open this up to name the smart plan, and then you'll see on the left-hand side, you're going to build the smart plan. I'm hearing some background noise. I'm just going to mute somebody that might be having some background noise. Once you see the left-hand side area here, this is where you're building the smart plan, and it's similar to the similar in a way to how we build the websites, but this one isn't a click and drag action. You just click this button, and then it will add it to the smart plan area. So you can create a task, make a call, send an email, add to a smart plan, set a delay, SMS, or restart. So those are all the actions right now that you can add to your smart plan. The custom dashboard, again, you can add the widgets, you name the step, you insert a description. So you add the widget. So this one was making a call, and you name it, okay? You insert a description. So you might want to build into it the contact name that you're calling, so that when you're in the middle of your lead generation, if you're using it in the smart plan, you'll just be alerted, call so-and-so and ask them whatever. So you can build that description into the system so that once you jump in there, you'll be reminded right away what you want to talk about. You can add a hyperlink. So if you've set up a neighborhood search for them, or something that you want them to know about, or if you just have that link for your website right there, you can add a hyperlink. You can set the time in days right here, how much time between the steps, or when this happens. And then, of course, anytime that you add a step or you make an edit, you always want to click that little checkbox and save that step. Okay, so now after that, you can email and use text options. So this is another new feature. You can add the email widget. Once you add the email, you can choose a template right from the designs. It'll send you right there. You choose it, and it jumps right back into your customization of your smart plan. So once you decide what you're sending out, then you can pop it right into the smart plan. And then the other text options, so you can choose a static text, and then you can add any text message that you'd like. Again, that function feature is here for you to add like their first name. And generally speaking, when we send out text messages, it's much more informal. So I don't use the first and last name, I just use the first name. So that's helpful too. So the next thing is you can set delays between the steps. And then at the bottom, you can restart the whole plan, and it'll just keep repeating. So the steps that you add in the middle of all the delays you add in between all the steps, you can choose how many days you want between each step. So if you have send out an email and then wait 5 days, send out a text, wait 2 days, make a call. So you can set up the delays in between each one of them, and the maximum amount of days in between are 30. And at the bottom of each one, you might want to repeat that whole the whole smart plan, or it's a one-time kind of smart plan. So it's up to you. You can just add the restart flow, and anyone that you put on that smart plan will just repeat over and over again. Okay. So additional tips and tricks. So creating a task, it allows 2 tasks a day per smart plan. Delays must be added in between those steps. When you send SMS or MMS, it requires at least 1 a day delay between scheduled text messages. To send an email requires at least 1 day delay between scheduled messages. And setting delays cannot be less than 1 day in duration. So it has to be at least 1 day if you're setting delays. It also requires that at least 1 action be between delays. So delays can't be stuck back to back, so you can't stack delays together. And also the smart plan total duration cannot exceed 90 days. So those are some of the tips that I wanted you to hear today. All right, so that's our PowerPoint presentation, and then we'll go to the live version, and I'll show you how to do this on the live piece. So when I switch over, does anybody have any questions that you'd like to ask as we go through this? We've got 4 of you on the call. I'm going to switch over to the live version. Back over to, I think it's this one. Sometimes I have so many things open, I'm not quite sure. Nope, that's not the right one. We'll just go over here. All right. So you should be seeing my command screen. Hopefully one of you can just give me a shout out and say whether you are or not.
I can see it.
Thank you so much, Brittany. All right, so here's our smart plans once we're on the command screen. Go to the task here. And again, this is showing all of the smart plans that I have created for myself, or I've used the library. Over here, it'll tell you how many contacts are in each one of the smart plans. And you see today, I was just doing a custom smart plan just so that we could look at it later. It has a duration of 16 days and a total of 3 touches. That's just as I was building it and making sure that what I had in there was what we were going to talk about today. And then over here, you can add the contact, you can edit the smart plan, or you can actually copy or delete it, okay? Let me show you the library. There are 10 smart plans in the library, and you can look through all of these. We've had a snapshot of this before. One of the other nice little things, here's monthly neighborhood nurture. It's like a monthly newsletter. And then there's also the home anniversaries. Of course, that would be if you put into the system when the client bought the house, it'll send them a home anniversary year over year. Okay, so again, if you wanted to view the steps, here's a long-term 31 day nurture. So it has a link to the monthly newsletter, and then a delay, and then a call. So it says you're going to call as a part of the long-term nurture plan, wait 10 days, and then there's a touch task, so send a value email, and then a delay, send a message. Now here's what I wanted you to see. When you have this repeating, the second time it goes through, the system actually knows that that client is going through there a second time, so it'll pick up the second text or the third text. So they're not getting the same text over and over again, because that would look like spam. So this is more customized that way. So it goes through several times and it'll change the text. Okay, and then it repeats 5 times over. So that's the long-term nurture. All right, so whichever one you would like to use, you just click Add Smart Plan and it'll jump over to your My Smart Plans area. Okay, so let me go over to the training that I was looking at and showing you today. And before I do that, I'll show you where the My App, promoting My App is. This is the one that came right over from the library. I can go in and edit this if I need to, and I'll show you what that looks like. So it shows, this is the name of it, and I can edit that if I need to. There's 5 days, 5 steps, 3 touches. Over here on the right, I can add contacts right here, and also save. If you ever have any edits, always save each section, as well as the save button on the right-hand side. This has an email on day 1, so I can't open that up any longer. So I set up an email to go out, and then, maybe because it's active. There's the next one is an SMS, and here's where you can change the text of the text message. So, hey, this is Dawn Ochs, and if I wanted to change any of these functions or add something, just click here, and you'll see there are many options that you can choose. If you even know their birthday, you can put their birthday in here and say, hey, happy birthday, or the team name, the app link, whatever you want to put in there. It pulls it from the contact database, okay? This is the delay. And then here's another SMS. If I wanted to adjust this or change it, I can move it up or down, but this is an active smart plan that's already in the system. So there are some functions that you can't change, and it'll tell you right up here. It's an active smart plan. Editing is limited. So here's the things you can do. Here's the things you can't do. So just so that you know what is possible when you have an active campaign running. Okay. So can I update with contacts actively subscribed? All right. So let's just save what I can. All right. So again, it was an active smart plan. Oops, let me go back again. Okay, now this is why I started this one today. This is the training custom one that I just started making. So I clicked the create button, which is on the right hand side, and I got into the whole training session. So I'm going to edit this and show you what it looks like. Now, it's a manual trigger. That means that I put people on here manually, and it's not systematically triggered by just joining one of the Facebook campaigns or anything like that. So here we have the task. I made a care call, and here's some of the functions that I put in. I'm just telling myself, check in with first name, last name. I could put a hyperlink if I needed to. I put a due date into 2 days, and then I saved that. Then I put a set delay of 5 days, and then I set an email. And then all I did was I wanted to go to an HTML email. I clicked that, and it allowed me to go and find the pin designs in the email section. And then once that's in here, it's already a template, and I can put the subject in here, the market is hot. Okay, and then I set a delay, and then I can send another message. Okay, and then I set another delay, and then I restart it. So that's the way that I put those things in there. All I did was I just clicked the buttons that I wanted, and then it populated into the left-hand side of the page. Once I was done, I just clicked the save button. Okay, and then if I wanted to add contacts, I can add them from here. So if I have contacts with tags, so let me just put, I'm going to search for, I have a tag called top 100 right here, and I've got several people in there. I can click all, and then I can add them to the smart plan. All right, here's the other thing that's really important. You can start all of them on the same smart plan at the same time. The trick is staggering them. You could have them all go out on the same date, but if you have built in there that you have to make calls individually, and you know that you can only make a certain amount of calls every day, then you can actually stagger the start date over the next few days. You could stagger how many contacts per day out of this smart plan you're going to call. So let's say I want to target at least 5 people out of this smart plan every single day. And then I just click the confirm button. Okay, so now there's going to be 5 contacts that will start today, 5 contacts that will start the next day, 5 contacts that will start the next day. All right, and then you just click confirm, and that's all done. I have to clean up the smart plan before I actually get this activated. So let me go back over to the dashboard. All right, and I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have. Certainly this was a little bit shorter than some of the other classes that I've had, as this has fewer steps to it. So what kind of things are you hearing? I'll open this up. There's 3 of you on the call right now, and I'm so happy that you're here. And do you have any questions?
This is Brittany. I have a question about the neighborhood, the monthly neighborhood nurture. Does it give like examples of what that newsletter looks like, or how does that work? Like, are we able to view that before sending it out, or do you have to create that, or how does that work?
The monthly neighborhood nurture actually pulls from the neighborhood website. So let me go back over to contacts, and this might help clear that up for you. So they're going to get an email with the monthly neighborhood nurture. And I understand what you're asking, in the sense that you want to see what they're receiving, right? You want to preview it. So this is what one of them that they'll receive. They'll receive the link to their neighborhood, so their website. Okay. All right, let me see if I have any. I know there's a couple of agents that are sending me things. Just jump over. Of course, oh, well, I want it to work. It doesn't always work. So when my Gmail actually populates back in, oh, there it goes. It refreshed again. I have received some emails from some of the agents, and let me see. While the Zoom calls are on, it slows down the system. I know that she had sent me a couple. Sonia, here we go. Monthly neighborhood update. I actually sent this out to Sonia. She's one of my coaching clients, and this is what she received. So she said this is what I sent to her. Okay, neighborhood trends, and this is the Marlboro area. So it's picking up the area for her through the neighborhood nurture. Okay, the neighborhood that I have designated on her contact record. So it's very specific to that client. So she's getting the neighborhood homes for sale, the average home price, and the average sold price. Okay. And then she can explore the neighborhood. She can see listing activity. And then here's the bottom of it with the download my app. Okay. So that's already, it's like preset in your system. So she actually sent it back to me so that I could see what she received. Okay. So that's why you see her information down there. But if she were to click the explore neighborhood, it should take her to her neighborhood that I've created for her neighborhood snapshot. And then that's what they'll say.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, isn't that neat? So it's branded to you because you set that up in the system, and it gives them all personal information. So if there were multiple, if I had other areas in here for her, I could have set that up, or she could actually add a neighborhood if she wanted to look at something else. So that's how it all kind of merges together. And good question, by the way. Awesome. So what else did you hear today? Because Brittany, you told me that you were kind of newer to the SMART plan and hadn't really looked into it at all. So tell me what you heard today that you feel that you'd be comfortable implementing.
I think definitely right now with like the neighborhood nurture, that SMART plan, I think it feels like very like something I can easily get into right now.
Yeah.
So, you know, like tech really isn't my strong point, but I feel like it's very accessible for me inputting those contacts, and then me not having to monitor things so closely. So I can kind of dedicate it some additional time towards other things and other tasks, versus a lot of the stuff I've been doing as far as nurturing some of the contacts that I have.
So what I'm hearing from you is that it helps just because it's systematic and it's going out automatically, it takes that off your mind to worry about, right?
Correct. Yeah. Like I feel like I can relinquish some of the control over it, and know that like I'm sending out like quality stuff that has exactly what they're asking for.
Yeah. We also call that leverage. It's a really pretty word for relinquishing all of our stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So it's a way to, and that's really what this was all about. It was all about systematizing and leveraging what your time is, what you can do in your time. So we want to make sure that you're maximizing what you're getting out of the system, and certainly the consistent touches that you can send to your clients and build that relationship. That's what it's all about. What we've been hearing from some of the other techs in the regions is that we've been doing a lot of Facebook advertising, and those people drop into our contact database. And once you have a lot of them, you can sort them in by using tags. And then when you use those tags, put them on a SMART plan, right? So you can create a custom one for just your ad campaigns, and then you can set up all of the systematic touches through whether it's an email, a text, or a phone call, and then consistently be in their top of mind. And we're finding that it's taking 6, 7, 8 touches before we're getting a reaction from the Facebook leads. So because the Facebook leads are still essentially an internet lead, it takes a little bit more time to cultivate them. And this is a way to get that done. All right. So I see that Erin and Allison are also on the call. I just wanted to ask if you guys had any other questions or wanted to see anything else in relation to the smart plans.
I do not have any questions.
Okay, Erin, was there something that you saw today that you didn't know before?
Yeah. Admittedly, so I'm an admin for a team, and so I think the smart plans as they exist now in Command are primarily an agent-facing, feature with nurturing clients and things like that. So, it's I kind of have like half an ear on it as I'm just trying to stay as updated as I can on the agent-facing features of Command, but I'm really more focused myself on the admin, operations-facing features of the system right now.
So more like contractual.
Yeah, I mean, my understanding is maybe eventually smart plans will be able to be used in relation, with opportunities. As far as task management goes, is that something that's...
Well, there are tasks. If you look over here, there's a task manager for for opportunities. But there's so thinking outside the box, there's a couple of the things that you could do with your smart plans. If you used a custom smart plan, even so, if you're working in the admin side and you need to reach out to your agents that are on your team, you could actually run a custom smart plan just to remind your team of certain things, like maybe remind them that they should do a task or update certain things in the system, or remind yourself to call, I don't know how many people on your team, whether it's 1 or 20. So it might be a way for you to create a smart plan for yourself with your team. Gotcha. Another way to do it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. There's also things you can build into that smart plan. Like somebody had asked me, how do I add hot buys? And it's a common term from a different coaching system, but they wanted to build into the system how to remind themselves to go and drop by a client's house and bring a gift, right? So you could do that either through editing a current one, like if you had the monthly neighborhood nurture or the long-term nurture plan, edit that, put a step in there that you just need to stop by at the house, or create your own custom one and build that into a plan. Now, the cool thing is that when you go back over to your dashboard, things that you have on your smart plans, like I don't take anything off of here, because when I teach and train, I like to go show people what's in here. There are things that are in the smart plans areas that show up either on tasks or opportunity tasks. Okay, so if I were to go to, I don't even know what task this is. So if I were to go to this particular person, I could see that over here, there were text messages that went out. So this is kind of neat. On today, July 23rd, this text message went out on my behalf because I have that smart plan going out. I didn't even realize that because it just went out an hour and a half ago. So that recently went out, and you see that another one went out a couple of days ago, and then there was an email that went out. So I can see on my client's record all of the things that went out for the smart plan. I also can see over here which smart plan I have her in. So I added her on June 26th, and it's an active status, and this is the actual smart plan that she's on. and I can go right over there, or I could delete her right off of the smart plan itself. So you've got a lot of places where you can utilize the smart plans and customize them as well. Okay, so let me go back to contacts, back to dashboard. So any other ideas from those of you on the call about how to maximize your smart plans? Because there's an endless amount of ideas out there, and I love to hear from people that think outside the box and may have some new thoughts around using the system. All right, any questions or comments from anyone? This is our last agent class with your group, and I've been very happy and pleased to present to you for the last 5 weeks. And we've had a lot of other things that we've talked about. I'll open it up. Just any other tech questions that you have, I'd be happy to go over it with you for the next couple minutes.
Hi, Dawn. This is Erin. I do have another unrelated question.
Okay.
I guess the first question, I'm just trying to pull up our brokerage's schedule again, because I thought they still had another one of these on for tomorrow about compliance and commission.
Yeah, so we do have one. Basically, it was set up for the anyone who needs to run compliance. So actually, I see Jeremy's on the call now, and anyone who is in compliance for the office or on admins for teams, anything like that. So we're going to go over compliance. Yeah, so tomorrow. So pretty much it was set up really not as an agent related, but also compliance related. Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So I'll be here tomorrow at 1 o'clock.
Okay. My question definitely has more to do with that, although since we have extra time today and who knows how long we might go tomorrow, I guess if you don't mind, I'll ask you now. It's definitely a question that likely doesn't have a hard and fast answer, but as a team, we are trying to make the best decision on whether we are treating Command or DocuSign as sort of what I would call a home base for file storage for like a transaction. So, you know, in Command, we have to put the documents that are required for compliance into the placeholders, and that's fine. And then we have to use DocuSign for things that need to be prepared and signed, and that's great. Yeah. And then there's a lot of other documents that accrue throughout a transaction that are just flat PDFs, like a mortgage commitment letter or a title commitment and settlement notice, like all that sort of thing. Yeah. And in trying to make a decision between creating like a custom folder in each opportunity to kind of stash all that stuff versus creating, I guess, a folder like in the DocuSign room to stash all that stuff.
Right.
We have opinions both ways between our admins and our agents. Is there any, like, would you have any reasons you could think of where you would recommend one over the other?
So for agents, one of them is for an individual agent, DocuSign actually allows you to upload any type of file. So you can do a PDF, a Word document. You can even translate an email into the system, into DocuSign, which is kind of neat. Dotloop didn't have that feature. Not only can you email in with another document attached, but you can actually translate the email right into DocuSign, and you can also upload pictures. So I know we sometimes get pictures of checks that for deposits. So DocuSign has that feature that you can upload all of those things into the room. It also has the feature you can customize the folders inside the room so that you can see all the signed documents, the supporting documents, maybe attorney letters. So that's one way of looking at it. The challenge with a team is that not everyone on the team has access to that room. So it's really driven by who has access, who needs access, and how much access can you give. So does the team give permission to everyone to have access, or does the team have some restrictions between the team members and the rate makers? So it really is going to depend on the permissions on the team and how the team wants to see the compliance in command. On the team, you may have a little bit more vision in the opportunities than you will in DocuSign, or Access, I should say, because an admin only has certain rights in DocuSign.
Yeah, I agree with
yeah.
you. We've established that we as admins could work from our Rainmakers account and see all the opportunities and manipulate them for all of our agents on our team.
Mm-hmm.
However, yeah, in DocuSign, we actually have to log in and out of each agent's DocuSign account to do the same. And that was why my gut reaction was Command.
Right.
One of our agents brought up the point that she is working more primarily in DocuSign. Like, she's just been logging directly into DocuSign and doing stuff and hardly touching Command. And furthermore, she brought up kind of a secondary point. If an agent ever leaves Keller Williams, you know, and they need access to documentation from past transactions, will they completely lose access to Command, and therefore would, you know, she brought up that point too.
Yeah, so it's, yeah, if you have everything in Command, and you leave Command, you won't have access to the required documents that we have to review, because I know in New Jersey, and I think in Pennsylvania too, your broker has to have copies of everything. So as with teams, if a team allows, and there's also going to be an update on this too, a team can allow an agent to add an opportunity or a customer, or the Rainmaker has to add the opportunity and a customer. So that all depends on the type of permissions that you're going to allow. If the Rainmaker allows the agent to add the customer and the opportunity, and the agent leaves, the agent can take that information with them, and the Rainmaker won't have access to it. So there's another level depending on how the agents are seeing that. So as well as like, so which also, you know, it layers, right? So if the customer's gone, then the smart plans are gone, and, you know, all of that. So it all layers into it. It's a lot to think about.
Yeah, it is. We did have the conversation about how contacts and opportunities are going to be created, and we decided that our agents will be responsible for creating both before we as the admin will start working on anything.
Yeah.
And but the thing is, when they create an opportunity, when you're in that initial kind of pop-up that comes up where you put the initial information in, there's an owner drop down. It forces you to have the Rainmaker in there. Like it's like they can't opt for themselves as the owner.
That comes out of the permissions that the Rainmaker has. So we did get, we're going down the rabbit hole, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, we can stop. I appreciate your thoughts on that.
Equally for the agents too that are on the call. If does anybody left? I know Brittany's still here, and Jeremy. I know at least Allison. So that's some information that you can take with you. So DocuSign has you can put things in DocuSign that you can't actually put in Command. In Command and opportunities, you can add custom folders and add the not only the required documents, but some of the others, but it doesn't take all formats. So there you go. Anyway, so hopefully this Smart Plans conversation has given you some information and inspiration to add your Smart Plans to your system, and it in effect will allow you to systematically market to your database and increase your bottom line through sales. So hopefully you've all had some little extra information today that you didn't have before we got here. And I look forward to seeing some of you tomorrow at 1 o'clock. And thank you guys for being here.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thank you. All right. Take care. Have a great day.
Thanks, Dawn. Have a good day.
Thanks, Jeremy. All right. Take care.
Thanks.